Hey guys, welcome to Movie Reviews. We have a doozy for you this first time. Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage and a horror video game almost inspired adaptation. But first, let's get a word from our sponsors.
Guys, we all need a VPN. Alex, why do we need a VPN?
To protect your data, to get around geo-blocking for services you're already paying for, and
Yeah.
because with our deal, it's 83% off, and it's about $2
Exactly.
a month
Best
for
value
unlimited
And if
sharing.
you're lazy like other Joe, you can have unlimited shares for your family.
shares.
Okay, so you're only paying $2.21 a month for the VPN, and you're giving it to all of your family, right? With that 30-day money-back guarantee. So see if it's something you're interested in. Click those links down below. Empower yourself. Take back control of the content that you watch online and protect your data. It's a really good idea, especially in this day and age. So check out Surfshark.
Hey guys, welcome back to Movie Reviews. And on this episode, we are starting again with our movies, streaming movies, of course, for right now. First up is Willy's Wonderland, a movie that could have really been on Joe's Bad Movies show. And maybe we should have done this as a Joe Bad Movies show, but we didn't
got
know
some other
going
ones.
in. We didn't know going in, so you'll have to still come up with something
I got
for us
some.
We
later.
knew a little.
Okay, so, yeah, we knew a little. Basically, let me just break it down for you, right? And then we can dive right into the film.
Where do we begin?
Damn it.
They gave us a great little synopsis if you want to read that.
Yeah, no.
Only like
No.
32 pages.
Oh, no, that's the behind-the-scenes
okay.
thing they sent.
Willy's
Need some drinks.
Wonderland is a film that should
It's a
have
film.
been...
Yeah, you're right. That's it. Review over. Willy's Wonderland is a film.
Hey, I got a beard too. This one's green. Shit.
Happy Friday, everyone. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so Willy's Wonderland is a film that should have been an easy win. It really should have.
Yeah.
I mean, you take Five Nights at Freddy's, this premise, right? Is you can clearly tell they're ripping off. Don't give me no bullshit. This is Five Nights at
No,
Freddy's,
something
okay?
else.
And combine it with crazy ass Nicolas Cage. I'm not gonna do what everybody thinks I'm gonna do, which is just flip out. That's Jerry Maguire, but you know what I mean. He's like, I'm not going crazy, you know. And you sort of have man versus mechanical terror going at each other, right? And you've got an instant win in my book. I was so excited.
And it won, right?
So excited for the film. Unfortunately, it fucks it up.
I agree.
And, you know, it's a stupid premise, right? And I was hoping for stupid fun. Unfortunately, it ends up being more stupid with a little bit of fun. I gotta admit. The third act started to win me over. But that makes it all the more painful for me that they didn't press that gas sooner and sort of do it in a slightly different way, in a more skillful way, in a more tongue-in-cheek way, basically in a better way. Yeah. Nicolas Cage holds this film together. And if he wasn't in it, then it would be garbo.
Man said
List-
one word. Maybe.
Pure garbo.
Something.
What do you guys think of this Willy's Wonderland?
Well, going into this, I was really like you. I was really hoping it would be a lot better. There's a lot of stuff I did not like about this.
And you're the resident bad movie guy. This is your perfect
Yeah,
film.
like
you just love seeing fucking bad movies with people
Blood
in
and
shitty
gore, which it
costumes going
did.
up and getting in fights.
Yeah,
And this film delivers that.
for the most part.
No, it does it 100%,
Well, this
right?
was also for me. Like this was classified as a horror. No, it was no horror elements for me. Like they could have done so much. It had the potential to do something scary with it, but it's basically just a comedy, like a badass comedy or something like that.
Yeah.
It was not really a horror.
You're
It's
right.
you could have done so much with that, and then towards the
Could have
end,
made it scary.
yeah, towards the end, the plot started like I know it's a stupid plot, but then it's
the
like
plot, Joe.
towards the end, you're like,
The
okay,
plot,
this
Joe.
doesn't make sense. Why are you even doing this?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in spoilers,
Yeah.
but then you're like, no, this is stupid. Why don't you just?
Yeah.
But overall, it wasn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, it's either gonna be terrible or amazing, but It's still enjoyable.
Okay.
With alcohol required.
My expectations for the film apparently was so much lower than both of you
Really?
because I was expecting.
He loved it.
He's been no. He's been making stuff like Jiu-Jitsu and like he's been making some bad movies.
Okay.
And this one is a bad movie.
Yeah,
And-
Jiu-Jitsu was, I don't know. Parts of Jiu-Jitsu were better than this.
Yes,
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Better
so-
choreographed for sure. This is a guy is driving through a country road. His tires get popped. He can't afford. He doesn't have the cash to get new tires, and so they force him to work in this place. They lock him
For
inside
free.
an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese, and they say, "You work here throughout the whole night. You fix it up, and we'll replace your tires." And they lock him in, and it's the animatronics come alive, and they try to kill him, but he's not locked in there with them.
Yes.
I am no one's bitch.
Yeah.
You are all my bitch.
And it is ridiculous. They were clearly going for ridiculous, and there was a lot of parts of this movie that were boring. And I'm not going to
Yes.
act like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
movie was great.
Yeah.
It is not great.
No.
It is if
No.
you are drinking heavily
Yeah.
and you love Nicolas Cage in pretty much a silent movie, right? Because he has no lines. He has no lines at all this entire movie. He has one exclamation that you can
He's
barely
a
kind of hear.
silent protagonist.
Yeah, and so he says nothing. And if you want to see him just really use body language and facial expressions or a lack of facial expressions
And be
just
cagey.
be ridiculous, then it'll be an
Full-on Cage.
okay
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was half
Yeah.
cage.
Okay.
The more I'm
time.
drinking, the more I'm liking the film. The
Yeah.
more I'm thinking about it.
He should have
Yeah.
been more cagey.
Yes, he should have probably been a little more cagey.
No,
So
he was cagey. Come on. That was cagey.
Nah,
That
nah.
dance sequence was cagey. There's
That
a dance
one-
sequence.
Scene.
All right.
I just have to make sure that I'm separating this so the people at home understand that this is not Slingshot Cops that he made me watch.
That's gonna be
this
his,
is not.
That's a
Go-to.
terrible film.
This is
Don't watch
not Sasquatch's Wild Weekend.
It's
which
not a
he
bad
made me
movie.
watch.
It's not on Joe's bad movies.
This is
thing.
not. It is not on that level. So this isn't a Z grade movie. This is a B or C movie that
Yeah.
was just okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's dive in.
Oh God, no.
It should have been a win. And I think that there was. Here's the thing. You can tell the passion from the people that created the film. Alex said that we got a screener, by the way, from thank you to Falco PR company. We got a screener, and they sent along with it a document that kind of describes some of the backstory and describes some of the stuff. And it just goes and it goes and it goes and it goes and honestly, I could tell that the director and the people involved with the project were very passionate about it. They thought they had something fire and hot, and they did. It just wasn't executed at that same level. It sucks, right? Because
were
they
close
have the
to greatness.
costumes. The costumes are great. The animatronics are great. The Nicolas Cage is great. The blood, the idea, the concept, even some of the music is good. It could have been better. But unfortunately, it didn't come together. So now let's figure out why it didn't come together in the best way possible. It does deliver some funds. It delivers some Nicolas Cage craziness. It delivers some kills, but I think it could be summed up in the first fight. The first time that Nicolas Cage sort of fights one of the things, you're laughing, but you're like, this should be funnier. It falls flat a little bit, and you're like, I don't know why this falls flat. And I think it's because of these reasons. I think it's poorly filmed. It's like a bad TV show. It is. So just think of any bad TV show, generic TV show.
CW.
Right, and it's and then color correct it to all hell, and then throw in
That's way too much.
pointless lens flares.
Yes.
Lens flares, lens flares, lens flares.
It's new hotness.
They want no,
2021.
it's old hotness. That was J.J. Abrams made that mistake, and then people were making fun of him for
Star
years.
Trek
Well, this
forever.
director,
Star Trek.
well, apparently he never heard of J.J. Abrams, or maybe he loves. It's his favorite guy ever because it's so No, it's not artistic. Yeah, I'll tell you what's artistic. Mandy is artistic.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
this.
No, I'm with
is
you there,
just
man. I
pointless
hated
lens
it.
flares.
Like you like trying to watch, and then like it's just like a bright ass light. It washes everything out. It's like,
Yeah.
it's ruining it.
So me and Alex, we were like, yes, Yes, at the beginning, like it was cheesy as hell.
Oh, yeah.
You have, I love the glorifying Nicolas Cage as if he's this badass. You get so many boot shots. This film is just in love with showing the boots.
There are a lot of different boots.
The feet walk into the frame first. What you learn in the first class of film school, right? To set up a shot, it's yeah, and then he's all like, a little badass. And
You got to
he's
set the tone. So he's like, he's gonna be a badass.
Yeah.
You got to film this
You can tell.
badass.
Yeah, you got to fill in the badass. He never says a word. In fact, he does say one thing. He's like, "Come on," when he's playing pinball, because that's his thing. So Nicolas Cage's whole thing in this film is kicking Five Nights at Freddy's ass in between breaks. And what does he do on the break? He has to take a break. It doesn't matter if he's in the middle of a fight. It doesn't matter if kids are fucking dying in the background, the fucking teenagers that they got to throw in all of these crappy films. It doesn't matter that there's people dying.
fine
He will
with
take
that,
his
yeah.
break. He's going to crack open a fucking beer.
A pop.
The soda.
What, caffeine, right? Yeah, but it looks like beer, but it
Yeah.
also looks like punch, but it also looks
says
like
punch
caffeine.
soda.
Whatever it is. And he cracks one open. He finds an arcade machine inside there, and he just fucking makes love to the arcade machine.
That's how you win, man.
No, I'm
To
serious.
get
We
kicked
all,
out of the arcade.
we all play pinball here.
Alex,
and Alex
gets down low.
Oh, yeah. Alex looks like he's having sex with the
I have
pinball
to
machine.
squat while playing
When-
pinball because pinball machines are designed by people like OJ,
They're set
these
for
little Putin
average
motherfuckers
people.
that are like 4
Average.
feet tall, and
Yeah.
so I can't like.
No, I get you. You're tall, but it does look like you're having sex in the machine. And honestly, that's how you play pinball. If you're not playing pinball, like give
I
it-
don't do that.
give
I
it-
just
no.
have to-
If you're not doing that, you're playing wrong. You're playing wrong. Anyways,
there you
so,
go.
So he
he
is
makes
humping the machine.
loves to the. In fact, there's a scene where you got the stupid tropes of the kids having sex. Any horror movie guy.
gots to.
I
You
gotta
gots
run it.
to.
We gotta let's separate from the group, even though everybody's getting killed. Let's have sex. So
This is turning me on. I was like, oh god, here
they
we go.
s-
They're dead.
Yeah, you're dead.
You're
You're gonna die.
But I think they know that it was a little tongue in cheek. It just
Yeah.
doesn't come across in that way. It just comes across as eye rolling. Anyway, they superimpose that sex scene with Nicolas Cage doing his pinball. So like I said, I love all the scenes with Nicolas.
Yeah, and he's in most of he
Okay?
is the star.
He's my friend. We've hung out all the time. He invites me and Joe to his house. We play.
Never had time.
Yeah, we play.
He loves Superman?
Legos
true.
and Matchbox cars all the time. I mean, he's the best. He named his kid after Superman. It's correct. He's a huge Superman fan. Was going to be Superman. We love you, Nick. We think you did a good job in the film. We got your back. Unfortunately, the rest of the film was it's a garbage fire. Not a garbage fire, but just poorly
It could have
acted.
been done. a
Poorly
lot better.
acted.
Well, it didn't, yeah,
Besides
wasn't
Nicolas
executed
Cage, who is the main character? Let's talk about Liz.
Liz.
Go ahead, talk about Liz. She's a.
Well,
She's well. Do we
like,
go into
yeah,
spoilers?
this is
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, I
let's
was like,
do
wait.
non-spoilers here, and then we'll do a spoiler section. So
She's just a random teenager that the scene opens up
Yeah.
where she's trying to burn down Willy. She knows that
knows about the
something's wrong
place.
with the building, and then that's it. And she just plays a teenager,
yeah.
and that's
Well, what I was going to say is she's a below-average actress, unfortunately. She's got below-average actress, just awful dialogue written for her, so it may not necessarily be her fault. And she, unfortunately, has a little annoying voice. And so I just, it was so grating every time she was on screen for me, and she was whining the whole time and screaming out.
What are you guys doing here?
Oh my god, you're alive.
I thought we all agreed you were supposed to stay outside and help us find a way out.
Yeah,
What? Now, how the hell are we supposed to get out of here?
She's trying to do the right thing. They make a, Billy badass. They do the Billy badass thing. Nicolas Cage is a badass. She's a badass. And she's got her friends. At the beginning of the film, she, basically tries to burn the place down. It's her mission with her friends to go in there and destroy this place, right? Of course, the film has all these contrived reasons why they don't just fucking do it, right away. Like her getting arrested. It's like I hear, whoop, whoop, she's about to burn the place down right at the beginning.
Like,
It's like, whoop, whoop.
oh snap!
Oh,
I guess
no,
I'll turn this
you're
on.
arrested.
Turn
No,
this
you
thing
fucking
off.
burn the place, right? If knowing what she knows, you burn the fucking place down. Anyways,
You wouldn't have a movie.
right, you wouldn't have the movie. But, it's just, they do that typical teenager
Yeah,
thing.
the rest of
Here
the-
are all
the
the characters to die.
The rest of the cast is just like, I didn't really care about the victims. They were just nice gory. I like.
They were there. They were there to
They
get
did die,
murdered.
yeah, which
They
I
were there
like.
to get murdered.
I could care less about them. I was like, oh, die, yes, this is excellent, and that's about it.
If you like to see scenes of Nicolas Cage cleaning up bathrooms, basically cleaning up Chunky Cheese.
He's credited. Like I didn't
He
even know
does
his
it a
name.
lot.
His name is the janitor.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He has
cool.
no name.
Yeah.
He has no
He
name.
does
It's
a lot of
the
that.
janitor.
But it should have worked a little bit better than it did work. And I think it had to do with a lack of skill maybe in the cinematography, the writing,
Directing.
the
It's
directing.
all directing.
Way too many close-ups, way too just generic and a little bit hollow.
Everything in this movie felt close. The comedy level was close. The
Close.
horror aspects was close. The action, everything was close to being at a point where I would be surprised how good this movie is for what it is. Again, for what it is.
Yeah.
But it was all just barely below
Yeah.
that, and it's every now and then it's scratching close there, and it just seems that some of the shots weren't set up properly. I
The
just
fights.
yeah, the fights weren't there, and there were times where they're trying to be scary, and he just does not have the shots. Whoever the director is, who's framing everything, did not know what they were doing for any of those aspects. Just they were.
And
wasn't
when
quite
Alex
enough.
is talking about some of the times that they scratch, they get real close. One of them that they got real close was just drinking beer, getting drunk, and playing pinball.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just fucking drinking beer, getting drunk, playing pinball, and fucking murdering just fucking machines. You know,
Yeah.
it's fucking crazy. They do so. Joe talked a little bit about the plot. It is. How do you think it's delivered? Exposition dumps, you're correct.
Oh yeah.
You're
Oh
correct.
yeah.
There's two main expedition dumps in the whole film. One comes from Liz, who she annoyingly explains the entire story for you.
In
as if it was
1876,
as if it was
when,
written.
when our city was founded, and it's like Jesus, Liz, you need to get to the like more relevant immediately.
And we'll get to that in the spoilers. We're going to skip over
people
that.
are dying.
And the second exposition dump comes from the cop, and then the cop explains all of the
Yes.
stuff and stuff. More context to the town, more context to Willy's Wonderland. But when you're doing that, it's like, oh man, I know that's the thing to do in these types of films, but you had a chance to rise above. You
Yes.
know, I think the film wants to be. I have a theory. I think the film wants to be Mandy. I think they
Successful
watched
and
Mandy.
good and-
yeah,
yeah,
They were
yeah,
like,
of course.
oh, we landed him. We landed Nicolas Cage. He's got some more taxes to pay off. I don't know what it is, but he decided Nicolas Cage every once in a while will bless you. Okay, and it might have been Joe that nudged him a little bit. We were talking about it before
"This
with
sounds
him.
amazing."
It sounds amazing. We did tell him Five Nights at Freddy's is a hot thing, so I think that was Joe's responsibility.
This is not based on that.
Apparently.
No, it's
Never.
not.
It was never based on that.
based on it. No, of course not. Of
It was
course
not based on that at all.
I'm obviously making a joke, or am I? Me and Joe do hang out with Nicolas Cage
it's not
all the
Chuck
time.
E. Cheese either, because
But
they
what I'm
specifically
saying-
said not Chuck E. Cheese.
Whatever. We're reviewing the film. There's no restrictions on us reviewing the film, okay? Just because we got a screener, we could say this looks like Five Nights at Freddy's, and this looks like Chunky Cheese to me. Damn it! I'm gonna tell it like it is. Anyways, but legally, it's not those things.
No.
So the thing is. Oh, God darn it! You derailed me. I think that he's best. He's the best part of the film.
Yes.
Yes.
And I forgot the point that I was making.
That's
but-
the only point you have to make. He's
Yes.
the best part of the film, and if
'Cause
you
we were
love
talking
Nick
about the
Cage,
plot as well.
watch this movie.
Oh, the plot. Yes.
But there's
yes.
no
There is no plot. So you don't really get any context to why Nicholas is such a badass and why he's not locked in there with them. They're locked in there with him. And that's addressed in the document.
in the essay that was provided with the making of this film. You know, Nick Cage specifically said, look, we purposely left all this stuff out. We don't want you to know who this character is, why they're such a badass, because then you're revealing Bigfoot, you're revealing the Loch Ness Monster. And these are his words, not mine.
Yeah.
And they wanted to make it all
Mysterious.
a complete mystery.
I like it.
And it
I
works.
mean, he's not a classic like these on my shirt, right? I don't think you're gonna see the Nicolas Cage from Willy's Wonderland here. You'll
Yeah.
probably see the Mandy Nicolas Cage, but you won't see that. And that's the point I was making. The point I was making is I think they wanted to do like a Mandy because they wanted the colors, they wanted the lens flares, they wanted the style, and they just couldn't execute it at that same level. I think even they want to imply that this is the same character from Mandy. Maybe he's gone on, because at the end of Mandy he's kind of crazy and he moves on with his life. This could be him on the road, and they just leave it up to.
Good theory.
Again, he left it open on purpose, so you can come up with your
How
own theories.
dare you tarnish Mandy
Exactly.
by suggesting
I was
that this is
hoping you would say
Mandy
that.
1.5?
I was hoping you'd say that, but because I was just said it to myself. How dare I tarnish the Mandy? Because it's just not. It's not. It's you can tell the purpose that's left there, that it's left open because it's lacking, right? It wants you to fill in the blanks for it. And the content there is lacking. Whereas in Mandy, the content isn't lacking, and you can still fill in the blanks, and you can still do all that stuff, but it's artistic. And this one was basically, just stupid, dumb fun, but it just leaned a little bit more into the stupid and dumb than it did the stupid, dumb fun. What do you think? All right, well, let's go ahead and give our final verdicts, and then we can jump into spoilers in case, you don't want to watch the film and you just want, or you did watch the film. Because granted, now, this was $20. Rent
Without
was
the option to buy.
$20. I was like, we had the screener, but I was like, our equipment. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy it because I want to own something like this. I want to support him.
Nick Cage.
And honestly, I would have bought it.
Yeah.
And I would have bought it. So I loaded it up. I was expecting, I don't know, $6.99
To rent,
maybe
yeah.
to rent for 2 days, maybe even $9.99. But I see fucking $19.99. And not an option to buy, because my purpose was I was going to buy it. I'll pay $20 to buy it to support Nicolas Cage. I am not going to spend $20 to rent this for 2 days and then it disappear. So fuck that. No. I would say I would rent this for $4.99.
Yeah.
I would rent this for $4.99. I might even buy it for $10, $15, maybe, if I was just supporting Nicolas Cage. Anyway, so let's go to our final verdicts.
Final verdicts for me. I'm torn between a 5 and a 6 because this had the potential. The camera angles, everything was kind of too close, like we were saying earlier. The lens flares, I didn't like. We only get one really cagey thing.
Does it end the way you think it ends? Was that satisfying ending?
Kind of. They got the up and comings, but yeah, it was fine for me. That's what I was like. I'm probably gonna go with the 5 for now.
Okay.
But again, the filming, the lens,
Average.
I wanted more Nicolas Cagey thing, more of a horror element. They had the perfect
Horror.
thing.
That's
yeah,
what's missing.
They didn't. They didn't really make anything tense. They're like, all right, this is gonna be a good build-up, but it was real quick.
There's no tension.
No,
They
it's
just
like,
go.
ooh, this creepy, but then it already happens.
Right.
It's like, you gotta linger on it a little
Go
bit. Do
comedy
something.
rather than go tension.
Yeah.
Mix comedy, mix horror, mix right. It just go.
Yeah, I like that too. And then I think if they would have cut down some of the animatronics, like just leave it like maybe a couple of them, not like so many of them. It's like, all right, the pacing.
How
is
many?
Kind of
How
slow.
many of them? We
There was
forgot to
8.
talk about
There's
that.
8 of
Yeah,
them.
there's 8 of them. I was like, maybe cut that down a bit, and I think that would have been a little bit better. But
Make
probably
each
a
villain
5
a
or
bigger
something.
thing.
Yeah. There's
Because
like
there was
I
8.
felt like there was,
Let's
like,
go
no
through
threat
them
or
right now.
anything.
I don't think. No, that's spoilers. We'll save
Yeah.
it for spoilers.
Yeah, I feel like there was not enough tension, not enough threat.
5 out of 10. Okay.
Man, I agree with everything that you're saying. I think the movie ultimately lacks a little bit of tension. It doesn't have the level of comedy that I want. It doesn't have the level of action I want, mainly because of the camera angles. And even calling it a 5 feels strange because if we're rating this on like the true movie scale,
We're on true movie
we're on the
scale,
true
not
movie
OJ
scale.
bad movie scale.
yeah, I mean this is like a 6 on the OJ movie scale, but it's got to be slightly below average for me. But that it's misleading, right? Because if you love Nick Cage like I do and love the
Me too.
wacky, wild direction his career is going, where he's like, I'm gonna make whatever the fuck I want. The reason he took this role, by the way, is because it was a silent role, and he's like, that's the only thing that intrigued me by it, right? I wanted to see if I could go through a whole movie, not say anything, portray what I want to portray, and so he's doing interesting things, and I want to sit there and I want to watch interesting things. So this is a 4, but this is a 4 that if you love Nick Cage, I think you should go see. I think if they wanted to make a ridiculous movie, they made a ridiculous movie. they were so close to making it good, but they
Yeah.
just didn't quite get there. So I think it's a 4. It's a slightly below average movie, but I still think that you should go see it.
Yeah, I agree completely. You know, I love Nicolas Cage. I love the concept. It's just and the third act does ramp up. We get some of what we wanted. We get some crazy Nick Cage-ness, right? You got your Cage-ness here. You got the dancing. You've got this weird caffeine fueled sexual pinball break moments, and then you got Nicolas Cage just beating the shit out of fucking animatronic Five Nights at
Ripping the
Freddy's looking
spines
people,
out of
right?
them.
But unfortunately, all those other things that we talked about hold it back from being like Color Out of Space, Mandy, those kinds of levels. And so this is one that I'll be like, well, it was an experiment. It was Nick Cage wanting to do something that he wanted to do. And I relate that because this year we're doing whatever the fuck we want on the Angry Joe Show. So, and honestly, I would give it a 6 out of 10. But then I have to also take into value, right? So at $20 to rent, no, I'm at 5 out of 10, Now, eventually, they're going to, I guess they're trying to get all the money up front, and then later on, maybe it'll be like all the other Amazon movies where you rent it for $6.99 and
Or
you
it's
buy
free,
it for
like
$20.
Evil Bong.
Yeah.
You have to buy that one.
You have to buy
It'll-
Evil Bong?
Yeah, maybe wait. Maybe
You have
wait
to
to
wait.
go on Amazon Prime, or maybe it will never go on Amazon Prime because you got Evil Bong. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
How much did you pay for
by the
Evil?
way.
There's a movie called Evil Bong, and there's a movie there's a movie called Ginger Dead Man, and those movies were so successful within their circles, they made a Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong, and that movie was so successful apparently that they made an Evil Bong versus Ginger Dead Man 2.
Yeah, this one doesn't seem like it's set up to do a sequel. This is just, like you said, Nick I want to try this. And I don't think Nick would ever come back for a sequel. It's a self-contained story, and 5 out of 10 average. Watch it. It's weird because I'm going to give it a recommendation to watch it if you're Nicolas Cage.
Watch it with some friends.
And Five Nights
Pitch
at
in.
Freddy's fan. Drink beers, Nicolas Cage fans, and only after it goes down from $20 to rent, because that's too
Or
much.
split it between a whole bunch of people.
Or split it between a bunch of people, right. All right, guys, so that was the non-spoilers review. We're going to talk a little bit about it in the spoiler section in case you have seen it and used your money, or if you never planned to see it and you're just curious what
There's
happens.
not a whole lot to spoil
What
here
happens
either.
in it. All right, well, we'll see you guys in the spoiler section. All right, welcome to the spoiler section for Willy's Wonderland. So let's jump right in. Let's start with the animatronics, right? Okay. Obviously Five Nights at Freddy's inspired, Chunky Cheese inspired,
Chucky.
Chucky.
Chucky
That's the
inspired.
later years, the quarantine
What
years.
is the other one? The Chunky Cheese competitor? Does anybody remember that one? Somebody in comments get us. Who's Chunky Cheese's competitor? There was another little animatronic place. It's lesser known. Anyways,
Peter Piper Pizza?
does he have an animatronic, Joe?
Is there a
Maybe
dinosaur?
like the
I don't
bears
know.
in the back with the banjos or something. Was that Peter Piper? I don't know.
No.
Anyways, let us know in the comments. So I'm going to go over the different animatronic ones.
Well,
right?
do you want to tell what?
Well, yeah.
why
Tell
they're
them what
special?
they are.
So
The big exposition.
So
dump.
this movie decided that the most recent Chucky, which I fucking hated, that movie sucked because
Yes.
that movie was about a doll that a guy who got fired switched the doll from happy to murder. And that's the
Gave
whole
him
story
super
of Chucky.
Digital. No,
So-
seriously. He just pressed digitally murder.
He switched it to murder. So again, every time I have the opportunity to shit on that movie, fuck that. And this movie decided that sucked, and the original Chucky was awesome. And we
Demonic.
we go into voodoo. These serial killers.
Satanic.
Yeah, they sacrifice themselves to Satan. They're about all of these serial killers run a Chuck E. Cheese. They're killing people. The police catch on, and rather than get caught, they're like, you know what? I know this ritual. We will put our souls into the bodies of these things. And already, this sounds so
It
much
sounds
cool.
so good on
Yes.
I
paper.
know. It sounds so awesome.
It doesn't work. I mean, when she's explaining it all in her annoying voice and her really poorly written lines, you're like, oh no, it's so bad. So all the serial killers go into the animatronics. By the way, I didn't see any female serial killers, but we do end up getting female animatronics. So here we go. We got the swordsman. We got so the swordsman. How does the swordsman die?
Gets his head cut off.
Nicolas Cage kills him, cuts his head off. Gorilla. How does the gorilla die? Well, we get a bathroom scene, and Nicolas.
He curb stomps him into a urinal 7 times.
That was the best one.
That one was a pretty good kill. There were some good kills.
Good
And
kill.
that's the one I kind of wish he kind of lingered on because he was like throwing his voice. He's like, "You're never gonna find
I
me."
love that.
He's
When
like, "I'm
they're
gonna eat your
taunting
soul." I was like, "Oh, this is cool. Is he gonna have to look for him and kind of
Yep.
see him in the back
No.
or
I
something?"
do
He's like,
love
"No."
the fact that they went all in on the satanic thing.
Yeah.
They're fucking demonic, and I love it. So many things, so many horror movies is like, is she really seeing what she's seeing? Is it really Satan? Is he really possessed? And they go, no, it's mental health. No, it's her
Satine.
trauma. No, just
all hail
fucking do it.
Satine.
All hail Satine, right, Joe? Right. So another one, ostrich. This is the first one he
first
kills, and that's the one that it's like, what? Oh,
Yeah, you
is this
just-
what it's gonna be? He's like, so basically, you know, he just like punches it, and you know when you punch like something that there's nothing inside,
It
and it
just
just kind
moves.
of moves and it flops around, and it just looks weird. It reminded me of Ace Ventura, like the first time he punches that like you know,
I know what you're talking
mascot, and it just looks it looks
Yeah.
weird, and you want to laugh, you chuckle a little bit, but you're like, okay, I get what you're going here. I should be laughing more.
Yeah.
If that's what you're doing. Or if you're going horror, then you completely failed, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The kill was good, though. He rips
It
the
was.
spine out
I
of
like
the
the kill.
ostrich. But, yeah, the fight itself was not.
Yeah, because he's
Okay.
just like real quick. He's like mopping. And you see it just walk towards him. He turns around and they start fighting. I was like, that was quick. Come on, do something.
Yeah, it
He's
seems
so
to get
badass, he's
closer.
not startled.
Yeah.
Nicholas knows it gets closer, and then he turns around and he just starts hitting it with his broom.
That's like Alex playing horror games. He's like, oh, okay.
Right.
They're not scary. We play games that aren't scary. There are
Then you have
scary
the
games where I'm scared.
Then
but-
you have the crocodile, who goes through the vents at one point and tries to eat up Liz, and Liz goes through the vents to try to save Nick because she wants to burn down the building. By the way, it was fucking bullshit when the cops goes whoop whoop, and she could have just burned down the place right there. But it's a fucking movie, and we wouldn't have the movie. Anyways,
Or you just make the lighter not work. Easy.
exactly.
easy possibility.
There was so many different
All
things
you
they
need
could
to
have done.
do is have someone who is competent
It's demonic,
writing.
right? So it went a whoop, and she can't do it, whoop, and that's when the police come.
Satan.
Anyways, Satine, my friend, not Satan. It's Satine.
No, Satan. It's,
Nope, Satine.
It's the vegan
Crocodile.
protein. It's Satan. Oh,
Frog,
it's Satan.
the next one is a frog lady, and this one I liked because it was the first demon. After all the demons have just been killing and killing, this one tries to do a little trickery. It says, "I'm not evil. I'm stuck, and please help me. You could feel the good. I could feel the good in you. You could feel the good in me. I just want to pass on." And I'm like, yes, more of this kind of stuff. This is so. Whereas that played into a little bit of horror, but that was more thriller kind of
Yeah.
thing, right? And the second you dip your toe in thriller, now we're getting good. But no, when you just go straight up, let's just brawl. It's like a bar fight, but it's a bar fight with animatron. It's in costume. No, it didn't work. Anyway, so that was the frog lady, and she could spit out her fucking tongue and wrap people. By the way, the kill on Liz's boyfriend, super disappointing. She just cracks his head somehow with her tongue. And
Yep.
it's like, oh, well, that sucks.
I
And
guess
then
they were like, oh, we're running out of time. We got to speed this
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
But that's what's like.
the crocodile
less
is also
animals.
the one that killed her friends that have sex.
Yep.
And I was thinking, we're about to see some titties up in here because, like,
B
apparently
movies go hand in hand with B
movies and
B
boobies. Boobies and titties. And it's like, well, if we're going to have a shitty film, then let's give the audience some titties, right? Let's help them out a little bit. No titties in this. She kept her bra on. And they went into the happy room? The happy
The
time
room
or
where all
something?
the murders happen.
Right, they did the ritualistic suicide, and the girl's like, "Oh, I'm so hot. Let's have sex." And then the crocodile comes from the vents and kills them. Right,
It was great.
it's great. And then the dinosaur, we'll just call them Stegosaurus, dinosaur-looking one. This
What is
one,
that one?
Yeah, we got a dinosaur one where he punches. So at some point,
The turtle. The Mexican turtle?
was it the Mexican turtle? No, it was
Yeah.
no, it was a dinosaur. It was in the hallway, and I think the dinosaur is the one that killed the glasses kid. In the flashing of the strobe lights and stuff. There was multiple people that killed him.
Tinkerbell
Yeah,
and the
it's
turtle.
Tinkerbell.
But at one point, I think after Nicolas Cage kills the swordsman, he's just like, he kills the frog lady. And then he's dragging the frog lady's body, and there's two animatronics in the hallway, like ready to stop him and try to be scary, and he just walks right by them, punches them both in the face. It was the little lady girl or whatever,
Tinkerbell, yeah.
Tinkerbell, and it was the dinosaur. But maybe the dinosaur was the Mexican turtle.
Mexican
Yeah,
turtle.
you're right. I think the dinosaur was the Mexican turtle. It's just
He has sombrero.
he had sombrero,
And
and
the
that sombrero.
And
pulled
he
me off.
only spoke in Spanish.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that was
like
that was funny.
They should have
It was-
done
it was
more
really
with that.
kinda
That was
funny,
funny.
Okay, so let me.
Well, he kept
let me
yelling, "Ow,
modify
you're
this.
hitting my balls." That was kind of funny.
Oh yeah. Well, before we move on, during that scene when he's fighting the frog lady,
Yeah.
like he's about to fight, his alarm goes off. Break time. He's like, all right, gotta go.
And he hands it.
I
Yeah.
was like, okay, that's pretty funny. I
It's
like
kinda
that.
funny,
It
yeah.
was funny.
Yeah, Tinkerbell was one where it wasn't an animatronic. It was a lady with a mask on her face. And then there was the Mexican turtle. So I don't know. When we talk about this, it's getting a little better in my head. The swordsman, disappointing. The gorilla, good kill. The ostrich, disappointing. Willy, we'll talk about it in a minute. Crocodile, disappointing. Frog lady had a good one. Tinkerbell, no. Mexican turtle had a good one. No, so we're still on track. There were a few good ones and a few bad ones. Okay, so that was Tinkerbell. Then there's the Mexican turtle that speaks Spanish. And then finally Willy, who was supposed to be the big bad, but nah.
He ripped a woman in half with one swipe.
One
and then,
swipe ripped a woman in half, but then couldn't rip Nicolas Cage in half with the same swipe.
No.
No, he barely scratches Nicolas Cage when he does the same swipe. So it doesn't make any sense.
Well, because Nicolas Cage is a badass, and that other lady was old.
Whatever.
She had bonitis.
Well, here's the thing.
He falls in a ball pit, and then Willie looks, and Willie says, fuck it, and he walks off.
Well, here's the thing that I know I'm not supposed to bring logic into this. It's
Yeah, well,
pretty
how
dumb.
dare
Okay,
you.
so I think it should have been better. Like the whole town was like a Satanist cult or whatever. But
Instead,
it's just basically they made a deal with the animal, Willie. He's like, if we feed
evil-
you, you'll stop killing our kids and everything around town. They said, okay, cool.
Because they would escape from Willie's Wonder
and
place.
go on a killing spree, so they made a pact. But at the very
if they're
end,
so easy to kill, why didn't they just fucking kill them?
that too. It's like she knows there's only Willie left, and she knew fucking Nick already killed everyone. Why does she like?
She's
All right,
just a
let's just
dumbass.
take this out and then be rid of it.
Again, no, I'm with you, Joe.
I was
Again,
like, you could have
can't
been
apply logic.
I know.
to
It's like
these
you could have
things.
been something better.
but
It's
you
like
don't
the
know how
whole
Satan
town-
power works.
well,
Okay, so
the
let's
whole
talk
town should have
about-
been like something else.
You're right. And leading into that is let's talk about the big, huge elephant in the room.
There was no elephant.
I was
There
about to
was
say
an
that.
elephant. Big, huge elephant in the room. There was no elephant
No
animatronic. Is that as soon as the ostrich started killing people and he killed the ostrich, there are 7 more animatronics and they stay frozen in their positions pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
And so he's fighting these things one at a time. It's never explained. And so at certain times, he has a fucking stare down contest
Yeah,
with
he
some more
does.
animatronics, but then his fucking beeper goes off, right? He never attacks and kills the animatronics unless they move or unless later on when they start to be demonic or whatever. And that fine. You want to say it makes sense for Nicolas Cage? He's just such a badass. He loves Mortal Kombat, right? But it doesn't make sense for the kids. The kids know that these animatronics are crazy and they know that they're dying to them, but yet they're standing and arguing with Nicolas Cage and each other in front of all the animatronics when they could just be hitting them with chairs and taking them down.
He stopped there.
So
for
that is the
once.
element. That is the elephant in the
Yeah.
room. Yeah, Liz tries to attack
Yeah.
the Tinkerbell after she has a personal fight with him. And when I was about to say Tinkerbell not that great, no, her scene was good because she goes into like a fog-filled mirror room and trees and shit or foliage.
But
and
the
the way
way it
they
was
filmed her
filmed, it's like a
Spider-Man-like thing, the way she moved, I was like, yeah, that was good. That's what I'm saying. The costumes, certain aspects are up there and have the potential to beat Mandy, Color Out of Space. The execution didn't reach that. What else? So the expedition dump, we already told you about that. Then the cops, Joe told you about that the whole town is in on it. How do they get into this? I do like the Texan character at the beginning, the trucker.
The guy who's
No,
chewing
not
on
Tex.
he's chewing on a Slim Jim the entire time.
I like the guy at the beginning.
He's just sucking on the end of a
I
Slim
love
Jim.
the
It's
truck
very
guy.
weird.
He's funny. He just starts talking, and Nicolas Cage looks over and he's like, he won't shut up. Takes his glasses off and then puts his glasses back on and realizes that this guy's not going to stop talking. That Southern hospitality, and then and then Tex and him. At the film, they are the ones that pick up people from the street and put them in there to sacrifice them. Yeah. So, at the end of the film, Nicolas Cage, not only does he beat up all the motherfucking animatronics, and at no point do you feel like Nicolas Cage is at risk.
Exactly.
Right. There's another bad thing. After he cleans the fucking house, not only of the demons, but also of, shit, piss, and blood, and makes it spickety span and earns his car back. The truck driver and Tex are like, hey, we're free. Well, that guy's a badass. So, well, let's celebrate. And they get in the car, but Tinkerbell is the only one that survived. And then she decides to use the gas that they tried to use on Willy's
She might
Wonderland.
be dead. We don't know.
She's dead. She blew up.
She's dead. She blew up. So she fucking blows up their gas tank, killing herself and the two guys that were killing everybody and basically complicit in the murders. Wrapping it up nicely. Now, Nicolas Cage, so that happens. But before that, Nicolas Cage walks out triumphantly, and Liz is, of course, out there waiting. She had her own little thing going with this police side character, right?
Another thing that doesn't make sense.
Cowardly guy. Okay. He was sent from the big city or something as backup to help her, and he goes along with it. He dies to the Mexican turtle, and she comes back. She sees Nick. Nick sees her, and I just wanted Nick to get in his car and fucking drive off. That seems like his character thing to do. But no, I guess the first time he sees her, it's like he's love struck, and we're like, oh God, no, no, please don't do this. Yeah. And he gets the girl in the end, so he jumps in the car. He doesn't ask her to come; she just gets in the car, and then he does share one of his soda caffeines with her. He's wearing a badass jacket, by the way. Nice jacket, Nick.
It's not exactly implied that they're together in a sort of gross romantic way.
Yeah.
Sure, you're right. It could have been done. I mean, they play with it a little bit.
I think the only thing that we missed on was Liz's backstory.
Yeah, let's talk about Liz's backstory. I have it written here.
Oh, okay.
No one cares about Liz's backstory. She's awful. That's what I wrote.
There you go.
And it's true.
That's all there is to it.
And that's, you get her backstory when she's driving away from the place with the little rookie cop that they sent to help out the evil sheriff, old grandma of the town, right? And what was her backstory, Joe?
So basically, her family was one of those that had to get car repairs. It's like, hey, we have a place you could work at, pay your debt off.
Yeah.
They killed her family. She's the only one left. And the cop is like, I guess I got to take care of her. And I love her. But
so stupid.
That chemistry was not there.
And that's why the cop, even though they were calling for help, because their cell phones work in this film, surprisingly well. Surprising, I like the fact that there's no real plot holes. They're just dumbass shit. Yeah. That's the problem. Anyway, so the cops would just hang up, but then, oh, it's Liz. Fuck, I got to go and try to get her out of there. Anyway, that's it. The only thing that I would say is he messes up his car. It's a nice car. It wasn't the ZL1. It was the SS Corvette, or not Corvette, but Camaro. At the not only does Tinkerbell survive, but the Mexican turtle survives because she didn't kill him. He was like begging for his life in Spanish.
No mas, no mas.
But he sees the turtle kind of in their way, and he just slams right into it with his fucking Camaro. Funny. And that part was funny, and then that's how it ends.
I need some more of that humor.
Yeah.
It that kind
I'm
of stuff.
telling you, the third act is running on all cylinders. It's just the first and second act was just lagging behind.
It was.
So. All right, guys. That is our very lengthy review of Willy's Wonderland. We wanted to give it a little extra, not only because it's a Nicolas Cage film, but also because it's a horror film. And not only that, it is a Five Nights at Freddy's kind of homage thing. Video games. Love them. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that. I want to thank our sponsors again, Surfshark, for supporting the Angry Joe Show, making these possible, and you guys for also making these possible. Click those links down below as a favor to us and see if it's something that you might be interested in. And thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show.
Bye, guys.